Hi there, this is Eileen Fernandez-Parker coming to you from Cultivating the Learning. In this quick tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to create rubrics within a Google assignment. So you might be using rubrics for writing assignments, but you also might be using them for project-based learning and for competency-based learning. So they're becoming much more popular, and thankfully Google has worked them into its assignments. So I'm going to jump over to my classroom. And I'm going to go to my Create Assignment. And I can fill out all of my information here. I'm just going to say that it's a writing assignment. And over here, there's a plus rubric in the bottom right-hand corner. When I click on that, I can import one if I've already created one in Sheets. And when you make rubrics, I definitely recommend that you use Sheets and not Docs. You can reuse a rubric that you've used before. So if you are trying to mimic an end of year state test or the ACT or the SAT writing test, then you can reuse a rubric that you've already used. But we're going to go in and create one from scratch. So when this pops open, up here at the top, it lets you know that you can use this to evaluate work and that students will receive a copy of the rubric with their assignment. So no surprises. Here at the top, you can decide whether you want it to go from left to right, that it would ascend from left to right, or that it would descend. So I'm going to mimic what I've seen with state tests, and I'm going to use the descending. Criteria here is your what we would call category. So as an English teacher, organization was always one of my categories. So I'm going to write organization here. This is where I'm going to describe what I'm expecting for organization. And I'm not going to type all of that right now. I'm just going to put a hyphen and an enter. And right here, because I chose descending, this is going to be my top category. So I'm going to choose 6 points for this, and I'm going to call this exceeds. And then this is where I would have my bulleted list. So I'm just going to put some hyphens here so that you can see I'm going to tell the kids a few things that they need to make sure they have. Now, within my organization category, I'm going to have 4 columns. So my second column is going to be worth 4 points, and I'm going to call this meets, and then this is where I would add my descriptions and another plus sign. This is going to be 2 points. I'm going to call this one developing with my descriptions. And my final one is going to be worth 1 point, not 0 points. And this level is beginner with the descriptions here. And the beginner usually will say something like, with assistance, the learner can. So that would mean that as a teacher, I can walk the student through it and he or she can do well, but they won't be able to do it on their own. Okay, so now that I've got my first category, which they call criterion, I'm going to come down here to the bottom and I'm going to hit add criterion. And this might be sentence structure. Now, if you are another content area, it might be accuracy, because maybe you are checking for factual knowledge, right? So I'm going to describe here what is expected. We'll give a short description, and then I'm just going to go through the same thing again, 6, and this is going to be exceeds with my description here, and then add along. All right, so as you go through these, if you decide you need to delete something, you would go down to the 3 dots here, and I can delete that level, which just is that one column, right? But at the same time, if I decide, oh, I already tested them on sentence structure, I want to be grading them on something different, I can just delete that entire criterion. Okay, so I'm just going to save this as, and you know what? I'm going to duplicate this so that we have more than one thing in our rubric, and I'll change the title here. And I'm going to duplicate it again. So once you've got your categories here, your levels, right? Sometimes it's nice just to duplicate it as a template, and then you can fill it in later on. So I already have a sentence structure, so I will make this one accuracy. And of course, you're going to use whatever makes sense to you. I'm just doing this as an example. And I'm going to hit save up here in the top right-hand corner. And now when you click on it, you can see everything all in one area. And the students will also be able to click on it and see what is expected of them. Okay, so this is a really great opportunity for you to try this out. So go ahead, and if you have your own Google Classroom, just create an assignment. Oh, one more thing. If I want to be able to see the students' work before they hand it in, I want to hit the Create button here and choose Docs, because my assignment is going to be an essay. So now what I've done is I have created a document here, and I'm just going to call it essay. And when I jump back here to my Google Classroom, now I'm going to change this to make a copy for each student. So when the students click on this, he or she will be able to title it for whatever their topic is for their research. And as a teacher, I automatically have access to peek in at what they're doing, so I can be able to give them formative feedback. So it's very important that you create the document, blank document, and attach it here so the students know they have to click it, title it, and that's where they do all of their work. All right. So good luck with using the rubrics. They really are. It is a very good, very positive move towards some holistic grading. All right. So good luck.